Today's Mercedes-Benz interview of the day brought to you by Mercedes-Benz EV. Owning a Mercedes-Benz EV isn't just extraordinary, it's extra easy. The vehicle's all electric, the feeling all Mercedes. The choice is all yours. Learn more at mbusa.com/EQ. Once again, Jamal Murray fined $100,000 but not suspended for Friday night's Game 3 in Minnesota. He's the Timberwolves head coach in his fourth season. He's Chris Finch, who joins us on the program. Coach, thanks for joining us. Your reaction to the punishment for Jamal Murray?
Yeah, I mean, I wasn't expecting there to be a suspension. The money side is probably appropriate. I really can't speak to it too much, but it seemed to be a serious transgression, so brought with it a serious fine.
All right, let me talk to you about your coaching now because of the injury. You blew out your patella.
Yeah. And I didn't blow it out. Mike Conley.
Okay, but I'm looking at the video. I think your feet were shuffling a little bit there. It would have been a block, not a charge, though, Coach.
I'm okay with that. I at least tried.
All right. When did you know you were in trouble?
Immediately. Immediately. I mean, when the collision happened, well, first of all, I knew I was in trouble because I couldn't get out of the way. I should have practiced my hockey referee hop up on the board there, but. And then I tried to catch Mike, and Mike tried to catch me. And then as soon as we collided, I knew something was seriously wrong. And then when I went to grab for my knee, there was no kneecap there. And then that's when I thought, okay, this is going to be a serious one.
All right. When did you decide that you could still coach?
Well, I mean, when the doctors basically told me, well, if I was in normal circumstances, they would have wanted me at home for a week, leg up, not move at all. But I'm fortunate to have great medical care around me, our team doctors, and, they would travel with us. So, if they, after 2 days post-surgery, they gave me the clear to go to Denver if I wanted to. And I was always going to try. So
how much pain are you in?
I mean, it vacillates between a 4 and an 8, depending.
Okay. It's a 4 when you're up 2-0.
100%.
Yeah. But that 8, what do you do to kind of counteract that during a game?
Yeah, I mean, it's just nothing. You just have to kind of stay on the pain meds and keep your foot up. And today I actually get to begin therapy. So we get some kind of movement in there, just start to loosen things up. But I'm sure it won't be a lot. But to be honest, everything's been great. The most important thing was being able to find a position on the bench where I felt protected more than anything else. And right there up against the scorer's table, I did.
We're talking to the head coach of the Minnesota Timberwolves, Chris Finch. When's the first time you laid eyes on Anthony Edwards, and what did you think?
During the draft process, I didn't really pay much attention because at the time I was with Toronto, and we weren't going to have anywhere near a top pick. And then I think during that season we had played Minnesota right before I took the job. We played them like twice within a couple of weeks before I was offered the opportunity to come here, and that was really it. And I'd seen him play through some preparation of those games as well. Saw the the raw skills, but never. Not to say that I didn't envision what he's doing now, but it was extremely raw basketball player. And then when I got here, it was just incredible to kind of watch him like grow with his confidence. When the more you gave him, the more he wanted, and the more he started to. I remember his first 40-point game. We beat Phoenix that season, and that was kind of like a watershed moment for him. I think for the first time he felt like, hey, I can do this at this level.
Are the Jordan comparisons fair?
I mean, stylistically, they might be. I think there's a long way to go, of course, in terms of, championship level sustainability and all that. But the confidence is there. The swagger's there. It's all real. I can tell you that. It's 100% real. One of the things that's really great about coaching Ant, though, is he'll still be very honest and tell you what he doesn't know, tell you what he needs to get better at. His self-awareness is very high. He has a bit of an old soul in that way. And he's never shied away from the moment. Like that was apparent from early on. I remember going into the very first playoff series against Memphis. I think he had 36 in the game one against Memphis. And you never know how a young player is going to react. Some players take years to try to figure out in the playoffs. But that's not been the case for him. The bigger the game, the more he actually relishes. Sometimes it's with Anthony. It's harder to get him focused and revved up for a game in February on a Tuesday night. Those are some of the challenges that he has a hard time just motivating himself. But when it's a big moment, he's always going to be there.
Give me the philosophy here on what you're doing with Denver and frustrating them to the point where we saw Michael Malone go onto the court and Jamal Murray throw something on the court. Joker seems like he's frustrated. You guys have some offensive weapons, but you're winning this series thanks to your great defense.
Yeah, the defense has been all season long, really, Dan. It's what we've decided that we had to be. Our identity. Last year, we didn't really have much of an identity. We kind of were figuring out the Rudy piece. We had the cat injury. We had a lot of things going on, and every single night it felt like we were reinventing ourselves. But coming into this season, we knew defense had to be our calling card. Not just with Rudy, but we have a lot of really good individual defenders. We learned a lot about what didn't work last year, which is probably the most valuable part of it all. So we could put that to the side, focus on the things we thought might work. As far as our matchup with Denver, I think familiarity is really big here. We know them well. We've played them well over the last few years. There's a lot of confidence going into the series about how we can handle them. Our size for sure is a factor. I mean, we're not just the two bigs, but Jaden McDaniels, Kyle Anderson, Naz Reid. These are three more 6'10" guys that we just can put on the floor. And not many teams have that. And when we decided to go with the two bigs, we knew at that point in time we were making a decision to be different in a landscape where going small, when your best player at the time was Karl Anthony Towns, where you're not taking him off the floor, you're not gonna out small ball the best that were in the business, which is Golden State at the time that we're doing it. So how can you be different and can be good enough being different? So I think, just some familiarity, some size, and then, just the willingness to kind of battle them, and just try to wear them down as best we can. We feel we have a pretty deep team, and we just can keep coming at them in waves.
Yeah, I see that. I don't think this Denver team's as good as last year. They don't have the depth, but you guys certainly have depth. You certainly have size, and it feels like Ant-Man is just each day, each game is kind of growing with that confidence. Also, when you go you're up 2-0, you go home, you're at home now, you got Friday night, but are you trying to think what their adjustments are? So you're trying to adjust to adjustments that you don't even know? Like, how does that chess game work?
Yeah, it's great. I mean, it's exactly what we're doing. We're actually going through our adjustments in practice that we might do, but we're not going to try to solve a problem before there is a problem. But we did that in the Phoenix series. We're fortunate enough to have a nice break here between games 2 and 3, where we can get some good time on the floor to be comfortable with any kind of in-game adjustments that we might have to make, as well as just brush up some stuff that we know we need to do better. That's the fun part about this playoff basketball is it's just you get to really be specific. Your players lock in at a level that they don't generally lock in during the regular season. That's more rinse and repeat game plan wise. So I think the players actually enjoy the challenge of it too. We got to be ready for some things for sure. We know the DNA that team has, and they're going to come out and try to reclaim this series in a big way on Friday.
When you began your playing career in England, what player in the NBA or former player has a style the way you played? What was it? The Sheffield Forgers in England?
Yeah, I mean, I ask this question a lot. Like, I didn't have the athleticism as clearly discussed about at the very beginning of the show. So, but I was probably a lot like Andre Iguodala. I was a playmaking wing, who could guard. And like most people, my shot got better with age. So,
if you win the finals, maybe your knee brace goes to the Hall of Fame. What do you think?
That'd be great. That'd be fun.
Have fun on Friday night. Congratulations, and wish you well with
Thanks.
therapy, because my wife blew out her patella tendon.
Ouch. So
It was one of those where I didn't realize it until I realized it, and then the doctors said, "This is terrible." And then
this is a long road.
yeah, I didn't realize it. She still hadn't gotten it repaired yet, just to let you know. Like when it comes to toughness. So I don't know what you already had yours repaired, right?
Yeah, I did a week ago.
Okay, all right. Well, she's a little tougher than you, but
no doubt about it.
Congratulations, Coach. Thanks for joining us.
Appreciate having me on.
That's Chris Finch, his fourth season with Minnesota. I think it's 3.5 years that he came there. They were 7-24 when he got there, and that was the 2020 season.